Hi everyone! For today's activity, we are going to get a little messy. We're going to make paper mache bowls, like this one. Because this is a messy activity, the first thing you should do is cover your work surface with something like newspapers or drop cloth, anything to keep it clean. Voila! My surface is covered in newspaper. Now I'm ready to get my materials together. For this activity, we need flour, water, paper like newspaper or colorful pieces of paper from magazines, and we need a balloon. Now, if you don't have any balloons, that's okay. You can actually do this without a balloon too. And if you do this without a balloon, you need a bowl that you like the shape of and some aluminum foil to cover it with. If you're using a balloon, go ahead and blow it up. You don't want it to be too big. I'll show you. I feel like this is a pretty good size for our balloon. Tie it off. Alright, if you're using a bowl, go ahead and turn it upside down and cover it with the aluminum foil and smooth it out so there aren't too many wrinkles. Now let's make our paper mache paste. The ratio is 2 parts water to 1 part flour. So we are going to do 1/2 cup of water and 1/4 cup of flour. Alright, I've dumped in my flour and my water, and now you can take a whisk or a fork or a spoon and you want to mix it really well so that there are no lumps. A lot of paper mache recipes that use flour and water call for boiling it on the stove. This recipe is easier. You can just use it as it is. No need to cook it. But you do want to mix it really well. Now we are ready to tear our strips of paper that we'll paper mache with. For this, I used just plain old newspaper, and what I'm going to do with it is once it's all dry, I will paint it in different designs. But for this one, I found pictures that I liked from a magazine and I paper mache'd with that. So there are multiple ways to do this. Whether you use newspaper or magazine pictures, you want your pieces to be pretty small. So like about this size. And when you're using newspaper, you can just tear strips. It's pretty fun. And then get them to be about this size. Alright, I've torn a bunch of strips and I have my paper mache mixture. So now I'm ready to start paper macheing them onto my surface. But this balloon is gonna roll all over the place. So I have a container to put it on. A cup would work. I'm using an old Trader Joe's chocolate covered almonds container, which was a delicious snack, by the way. Yeah, that is pretty stable. Ready for the messy part? What we do is we take our paper, we dip it in. This is soaking wet right now. We don't want that. So you're gonna take your fingers and get most of the moisture off. And you can just put it right onto your balloon and spread it down so there's no bubbles. You want it lying flat. Now you can do another, and when we do it, we want them to slightly overlap with each other. So I'm going to put it kind of a little bit on top of the other one so that there are no gaps. And we'll just keep doing this until it gets down about halfway down the balloon. I forgot to tell you a very important material to have on hand, which is like a paper towel or a napkin, because my hands are getting pretty gross. If I need to do something like turn my camera on and off, I need a paper towel to wash it off with. Alright, for the balloon, I'm using newspaper, but for this bowl, I'm going to show you another way to do it too. I have these pictures from a magazine that I like. So I'm going to use those. For the first layer that I put down, it's going to be the inside of the bowl. So I'm going to take the image that I like, but I'm going to turn it upside down and I'm going to have it facing inside. I've done one layer on this, so now I'm going to see if there are any places where it's bunching up, and I'm going to smooth it down. We're going to do 3 layers, so and only the first and the third layer on the bowl will show up with the magazine pictures. So for my second layer, I'm just going to use newspaper because it doesn't matter, and honestly newspaper smooths down much easier than magazine does. So I'm going to cover this with newspaper. I'm also going to put a second layer onto my my newspaper one, and then after that I'll do a third layer. Alright, my second layer is on and pretty smooth, so I'm ready for my third and final layer. So this is going to be the outside of the bowl. So when I take my pictures now, I'm going to have them facing out, because that's what it'll look like when it's all done. Alright, the third layer is done on both of my bowls. So now all there is to do is to smooth them out, make sure there are no wrinkles, wait for them to dry, and clean up. Let it dry for about a day, or if you used a ton of the paper mache and it's really gloopy, it might take a little longer. You might want to use a hair dryer, maybe put it outside in the sun to dry. And then when it's dry, you'll take something like a pen or a pencil or a needle, and you'll pop your balloon, and the balloon should just come right off, and then you'll have a bowl that you can decorate or leave it as it is. Alright, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. I hope you weren't too messy. And I hope your bowls turn out looking great. And take care.